This is how you make so much money. It feels like you're breaking the law. I'm 22 years old and I made $25,000 in 30 days, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. The first thing that you need to know is that you need to pre-optimize for scale. So in November 2024, I was working a part-time job at Nando's, and I got to a point where I was so sick of this job that I quit the job, and I only had 14, 15 days, so 2 weeks, to pay my rent. Otherwise, I would have been homeless. I had no choice but to make an ungodly amount of money for me to pay my rent and to eat food and to also prove to myself that I can perform well under pressure and really do this business stuff. So I had to take a step back and realize, okay, I need to take on the identity of a big business owner who's already making money because he knows how to make a big, large sum of money in a short amount of time. Right? So you need to start thinking at scale and of scale before you reach the scale that you want to get to, if that makes sense. So pre-optimizing for scale, you need to take a step back and think, is what I'm doing in my day-to-day business activity, is this stuff really going to allow me to reach these massive levels of money? Most likely no, because if you're a big business owner, do you really think that that big CEO is going into DMing people how they can make more money because of their growth operating model? No, then they're not doing that. They are getting, no matter how, they are getting thousands of people to see their offer and feeding them through a funnel. And by the way, I have a resonance funnel that works really well, so you should probably check that out by booking a call with me. Feeding these people through a funnel that gets them to a sales page where they can buy, or better yet, onto a sales conversation where they can get paid thousands and thousands of dollars. So after I quit Nando's, I only had these 2 weeks to make money. And it was literally do or die, and I had no choice but to make a lot of money. And again, I'd made $10,000 in those 2 weeks. So you have to really take on this identity first of how can I get the most amount of people seeing the thing that I have to sell, right? Which brings you on to the second thing is, now that you're thinking big and you're trying to reach a whole bunch of people, you can't have a business that also serves a whole bunch of people as well. And let me explain in a second, because this might seem contradictory to the advice of pre-optimize for scale. What I mean is that you want to have a business that can handle a whole bunch of people, but you want to be selling to one specific avatar, one specific type of prospect. And here's the whole reasoning behind it. Years and years ago, like this is when I first started off, and I tried to start a marketing agency. And what happened was I was offering general marketing services. So I not posted, but I made a website. And on this website, I was saying, we have an end-to-end solution. We do this thing. We will make these things for you. And this is the perfect marketing solution. But when you make general things, it doesn't scream in people's face that this is for you, because you're trying to reach the masses and you're trying to impress everybody. But what happens is people only buy things for their own selfish desires. So you need to call out those selfish desires, the exact things that move prospects so that they want to buy specifically from you, because you have the offer that will get them specifically, or what feels like will get them specifically to the result that they want to get to. So this is kind of different. Or no, it's not. It's kind of the same, sorry, as the whole thing of make sure you reach out to one ICP in your content. It's the same thing with advertising. Make sure you have one specific avatar that you're trying to reach out to. And when you do this, by the way, you really want to pay attention to the deep insecurities that your prospect has when it comes to getting this result that you're offering. Because it's common knowledge that people's pains, people's insecurity is what drives them forward, right? People really want to get away from pain, and it's evident. Like, even look at me. When I quit my job, I had the pain and this really looming sense of darkness around me where I was like, I have to pay this rent. And I made so much progress in those 2 weeks alone that I did in my last 3 years of marketing because I was actively running away from the fact that I was going to be homeless. And you need to, when you have these advertisements running, you need to remind people that this is the pain that you're running from. This is the thing. You need to hold them, like literally hold them by the collar and put their feet over the fire so they can feel the burn of the insecurity and the trauma from not having the result that they want. And trust me, this is a good thing. You're not an evil person for doing this. Because only at that point will they truly believe that you understand exactly where they are. You know, if I didn't have these stories and I didn't have this whole idea of what it's like, of the struggles of what it's like having a business, go like not making any money, like maybe you're making 5 grand if you're lucky, to now making like a lot more money, I understand what it's like, right? And I understand the very nuanced, specific things that you're struggling with that other people won't understand. And it's why you don't want to buy things from other people that have this super general marketing advice and they give like really crappy advice and they talk weirdly through their content. But you'd rather buy from someone who knows exactly what your struggles are because that makes you feel like you're being heard, right? And you have to translate that thing across in your advertising message. And when you couple that very specific advertising message with the fact that you're reaching thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands of people, new prospects every single day, naturally you're going to get an influx and flooding of new prospects coming onto your funnel, onto your profile, messaging you, where these people naturally want to buy your thing. Is this slowly starting to make sense? Like, you really need to get this into your minds that when you optimize for scale, you need to have massive volume of eyeballs coming in, and those eyeballs will only really come in if they feel like they're only being spoken to. And by that I mean they feel like they're the only people being spoken to, right? Which then also leads me on to the third thing as well. When you have all this interest coming onto your page and these people that are interested, they feel like, you know what, this guy is making a lot of sense. He's really understanding what I'm saying. At that point, that's when you want to start closing these interests. And this is the killer, right? And this is the thing. This will be the make or break between you making a whole bunch of money and you not making a whole bunch of money. And this will come down to your selling ability, your sales skills, right? I had a client, his name's Aaron. Actually, in fact, he's the guy that I do the podcast with. Aaron McCulloch, he was an agency owner. And when I got on call with him, I didn't even have to sell him. And it wasn't even because of my content. It was because when I got on call with him, I just asked him. I asked him what was going on with his business, what he was struggling with. And because he felt so heard and so understood by the way I was speaking to him, he asked me, "Hey, how much does your thing cost? I want to buy your thing." Do you know how powerful that is? You want to have people that feel heard and understood, where they are asking you, how much does your thing cost? I want to buy it from you. And they will do whatever it takes to make it work. And this isn't like a process from like where you have to have amazing selling ability. Like that's the final thing. You want to make sure that you are bringing an influx of people in and you have a messaging that makes them feel like, okay, he is talking directly to me. And once you have that messaging and they're getting pre-sold and warmed up and nurtured, that's when you want to finally hit them. Like this is the final nail on the head, by the way. You want to hit them with the fact that, okay, this guy is legit and I really do want to buy. You need to align their heart so that you can sell to them. And so that is literally the three-step formula on how you scale so crazily fast that you can make a whole bunch of money in a short amount of time. This is all you need. You need to have massive amounts of people, a massive amount of eyeballs and interest seeing your offer. And you can only do that through paid advertising, by the way. Sorry to break it to you. Then you need to make sure that the messaging that you have in the advertising and the funnel and the content and everything is hyper specific to one specific avatar. And by the way, a little hack on how to get this messaging correct is direct when you run these ads and you start getting new followers, which you should be treating like leads, by the way, speak to them and actively bring out points for you to make content about. Even this video, I'm making it in response to what somebody said to me through DMs, like to what a lead said to me over DMs. And once you have that specific messaging in order, then you want to hit them with the home run of getting them to a point where they can be like, yeah, this is exactly what I need. So they pay you the thousands of dollars that you deserve. This is what it takes to scale so crazy fast that it feels super illegal to do. And by the way, if you need me to pre-optimize your business for you at scale, and you want me to help you understand what your advertising message should be for your ideal prospects that can actually afford to pay you what you want, and on top of that, take a look at your selling process so you are actively being the person that listens and understands your prospects so they want to buy from you rather than you trying to sell to them, go to the description, book a call with me, and we'll make sure we get everything in order and we get you situated so that you can scale crazy, crazy fast.